Wow! Look at the view here. Hey, didn't see that. Is this your first time being here? Stay with me. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be outside during this current outbreak? I am sure that our frontliners are doing their best to curb this problem. However, we too also need to be cautious with our hygiene and also our surroundings. One of the steps is not to simply touch objects and surfaces, as we never know the surface is infected with the virus or not. Oh no! Silly me, I spoke too soon. But luckily, I brought my own homemade sanitizer with me to clean my hands. Yes? Oh, you wanted to know how I made this? Come and join me and my fellow groupmates on how to make this homemade hand sanitizer on your own. Hi Dr. Alim and everyone that is watching this video. My name is Hasril. Before we proceed with the procedures, let me introduce first what is a hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer is a liquid or gel generally used to reduce infection agents on our hands. Hand sanitizer is mainly made out of alcohol, hydroxy compounds, which is the chapter me and my groupmates are going to be discussed throughout this video. Alcohol-based hand sanitizers work against a variety of microorganisms. The alcohol contains several combinations of isopropyl alcohol, ethanol, and propanol. Alcohol-based formulations are generally effective at killing microorganisms and are better tolerated than soap and water. Therefore, I encourage you to use hand sanitizer because it is very effective than using soap and water to clean your hands.
Hey Hasril, you're wrong. Soap and water are better than hand sanitizer. Even though hand sanitizers are compact and can increase the times that you disinfect your hand, soap and water are more effective to kill germs. Hand sanitizer does kill the virus, but it doesn't cleanse your hand like soap and water does.
Oh, I am so sorry. Thank you Alyaa for correcting me. Anyways, moving on, a brief history of hand sanitizer. Alcohol has been used as an antiseptic since at least the 13th century, 1363 to be exact, with evidence to support its suitable use until the late 18th century. Since then, it has been commonly used in Europe since the 1980s. The alcohol-based version is in the World Health Organization Essential Medicines list, the safest and most effective medicines needed in the health system. So, you may be wondering why our group decided to make this experiment. Well, the first objective is to study how alcohol works in order to make hand sanitizers. The second objective is to understand the texture, the smell, the appearance and functions of hydroxy compounds. And lastly, to produce our own hand sanitizer as an alternative for the sold-out market hand sanitizer to prevent getting infected by germs, especially the COVID-19 virus. And that is all from me. I will pass this to Yusuf.
Hasril, I'll be presenting about the procedures. So, there are 5 things that we need. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here we have surgical spirit with 70% alcohol. We have aloe vera gel that can be used instead of glycerine. And we have a bowl and a measuring cup, but make sure it's not a hold because this one has one, so I'll be using something else. And last but not least, a whisk to mix it all up. So for the first step, we'll be pouring this surgical spirit that contains 70% of alcohol into the beaker.
which requires like 90 milliliters. There you have it. So we'll just get a bowl and pour it inside. All the way through. Then, since the ratio for the alcohol and the aloe vera should be 2 to 1, so just now we just added 90 milliliters. So for this one, we'll just add 45 milliliters. Really more. And just put inside. This is just to stir it. And there you have it. Once done, you can just transfer this into a bottle or anything else and just use it for your homemade hand sanitizers. So just gonna go test it out. Ooh, it's juicy.
And there you have it, your very own homemade sanitizer. Ooh la la.
So that's all for the procedure. I'll be passing it down to Alyaa. Alyaa.
Thank you, Yusuf. So now I'm going to talk about the results. First, let's talk about the appearance. As you can see in this video, the content of the hand sanitizer is a little bit translucent. This is probably because the hand sanitizer is cold. If it's in normal temperature, it will probably be more transparent. Here you can see Yusuf putting the hand sanitizer on his hand and applying it. It should evaporate in a matter of seconds. Next, let's talk about the smell. Since I can't smell the hand sanitizer on my own, I asked Yusuf to smell it for me. He told me that it smelled like aloe vera. That is to be expected because we didn't use any scents to make this hand sanitizer. As you can recall, the two ingredients that we use are alcohol and aloe vera gel. So why do we use alcohol? We use alcohol because in hand sanitizer, when you have 60 to 95% alcohol, it can kill the germs and bacteria. So how does this alcohol kill the germs and bacteria? It kills the germ and bacteria by dissolving the cell wall. And you might be wondering why we use aloe vera gel. So we use aloe vera gel just to add moisture to our hand because it will be really bad if we just use alcohol. It can be so drying. Next, we use the aloe vera gel is just to add the consistency to the product. So it won't be so watery. That's all from me. Thank you so much, and I'll pass this on to Alyaa.
Hi, so I'll continue the presentation with the discussion. So the first thing is, how does hand sanitizer work? So hand sanitizer, the most important ingredients in it is alcohol. The most common disinfectant that we use is ethanol, propanol, and isopropyl. Because these alcohols are the most soluble in the water. So these alcohols can destroy these disease-causing agents, or known as pathogen, by inactivating it. How it activates it? It breaks the protein of the cell, and then it split the cells into pieces, and then they disturb with the cell's metabolism. That's how they inactive the virus or any bacteria. There also a study that shows alcohol can kill variety of bacteria and also viruses. Okay, moving on to the next, which is what ingredients that is effective against this virus. Okay, the ingredients that we usually use is 60% to 70% of ethanol, or the most effective is the 70% of isopropyl, because it can inactive the germs or the virus faster. Actually, the solution that has as little as 30% of alcohol have the ability to kill the viruses. However, it doesn't work as effective as high concentration of alcohol, because the higher the concentration, the higher the effectiveness to kill the virus, and also it works faster with higher concentration. So that's all from me. Next, I'll let Mara to continue the discussion.
Oh, thank you, Alyaa. Hi, my name is Humaira. So today I am going to discuss two things regarding our topic, hydroxyl group. So basically in our experiment we use 70% isopropyl alcohol. So my first discussion is that why do we use 70% isopropyl alcohol instead of 100% isopropyl alcohol? So basically a 70% alcohol solution contains water. So this water is used to denature the protein cells membrane, and it also acts as a catalyst in the reaction of alcohol. Because of the water in the solution, 70% isopropyl alcohol actually takes more time to evaporate to the surface, hence it will increase the contact time. So because the contact time is higher, they are able to penetrate the cell wall of the protein at a slower rate and will kill all microorganisms, hence it will be a lot more effective. Meanwhile, in 100% isopropyl alcohol solutions, it does not contain any water. So because of it, it evaporates a lot faster to the surface, and it will coagulate only the surface, the first layer of the proteins. So it will create a protein layer that protects the other protein beneath it from further coagulation. So due to this, microorganisms are not killed but remain in a dormant state, so it is not as effective. Okay, so I am going to move on to my second discussion. According to my first discussion, I mentioned that 70% isopropyl alcohol is mixed with water. So why doesn't isopropyl alcohol react with water? Is isopropyl alcohol soluble in water? Okay, so first, water and alcohol actually have similar properties because water molecules contains hydroxyl group that can form strong hydrogen bonds with other water molecules and also with alcohol molecules. And the same thing as alcohol molecules, it can form strong hydrogen bonds with other alcohol molecules as well as with water. So because alcohol can form hydrogen bonds with water, they tend to be relatively soluble. Alright, so basically the hydroxyl group in alcohol and also in alcohol is referred to as hydrophilic group, which is the water-loving group, because it forms hydrogen bonds with water and it actually will enhance the solubility of an alcohol in water. So basically, if the alkyl group contains more than 6 carbon atoms, the alkyl group will outweigh the OH group, and the alcohol will then become insoluble in water. But in isopropyl alcohol, we actually have only 3 carbon atoms. So we can conclude that isopropyl is actually soluble in water in all proportions. So that's all for me. I am going to pass my camera to the next person.
Whoa, hello there. So, alcohol is an organic compound that we use to disinfect stuff or surfaces. But why do we use alcohol? Why don't we use any other organic compounds such as alkene, acid, or even ester? So, the main reason that we use alcohol is because it has the ability to denature proteins, or has a direct effect on the ordinary structure of the cells. Basically, it can break through the cell plasma membrane and interfere with the cell metabolism. So, we can move on to the next part of the discussion, which is the pros and cons of using an alcohol. So, the pros of using an alcohol is that alcohol are bactericidal, fungicidal, and virucidal, meaning they are able to kill bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Other than that, it is very fast acting, meaning it can kill the germs very quickly. It leaves no toxic residue. It's non-corrosive and non-staining. However, despite many of its pros, alcohol also has its advantages. One of which is that it is not sporicidal, meaning any spore type organism can survive and will not be killed by the alcohol. Also, alcohol is very easily affected by organic matters. Alcohol is also flammable, so a large amount of it will need a special place for it to be safely placed. And lastly, it evaporates very quickly due to its fast acting, causing it to be less effective on large surfaces. Well, that is all from me, so let's move on to the next person.
Hi Dr. Halim and my fellow classmates. So in this video, I'll be concluding about our experiment. Based on the experiment, the hand sanitizer that our group made is considered of alcohol, which is organic compound that contain hydroxyl group. From this experiment, there is 100 ml of hand sanitizer has been made. The solution of hand sanitizer we have is colorless and dilute. These physical properties were the same when we mix the materials. That is when we add 5 ml of hydrogen peroxide into 100 ml of ethanol is also colorless and dilute. As we know, hand sanitizer is one of the application of organic chemistry. This is because ethanol as the dominant material is include the organic compound by considering it contains 2 carbons, 6 hydrogens and oxygen. Also, for glycerol belongs to the alcohol family of organic compounds. It contains of 3 carbon substance that forms the backbone of fatty acids in fats. While for hydrogen peroxide is not belong to organic compound, as there is no carbon atom but 2 hydrogen and 2 oxygen instead. The use of glycerol in this hand sanitizer formula is used as humectant. Ethanol is used in hand sanitizer because ethanol alone can rapidly kill vegetative bacteria such as Bacillus and Clostridium, fungi and envelope viruses. In other words, it is an antiseptic that kill germs by dissolving their essential proteins. Different with glycerol that add to formula is used as humectants that draw moisture from the surrounding environment or works as moisturizing agent. Besides, it is used to make the formula miscible in water and do not promote allergy. As for hydrogen peroxide is used to inactivate contaminating bacterial spores in the solution and is not an active substance for hand antisepsis. There are 2 main formulas out there which are recommended by World Health Organization or WHO, is closer to liquid than gel and is harder on your hands, while the other will be gentler on your hands and skins and closely resembles the feel of store-bought hand sanitizer. The key to making an effective germ-busting hand sanitizer is to stick to a 2:1 proportion of alcohol to aloe vera. This keeps the alcohol content around 60%. According to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, an alcohol-based sanitizer that meets the alcohol volume requirement can quickly reduce the number of microbes on our hands. It can also help to destroy a wide range of disease-causing agents or pathogens on our hands, including the new coronavirus. However, even the best alcohol hand sanitizer have limitations and do not eliminate all types of germs. According to CDC, hand sanitizers will not get rid of potentially harmful chemicals. That is why Alyaa mentioned just now that washing our hands with soap is better option than using hand sanitizers. Last but not least, hand sanitizer is a handy on-the-go way to help prevent the spread of germs when soap and water is not available. Alcohol-based hand sanitizers can help keep us safe and reduce the spread of the new coronavirus. I will take this opportunity to thank Dr. Halim, and that is all from me and my fellow groupmate. Thank you for watching.